Hello, welcome you to our today class of mathematics. Our class is solely based on jam past questions and answer. I wish all of you watching this video across Nigeria and across all the nation excellence from 300 and above. That is our wish for you. Now, we are going to look at a case or a question one, face and femur. We are given a triangle and the triangle is labeled PQR. PQS. Okay, let's say PQ or PQRS. Yes, let's try to it as PQRS. Yes, that's a triangle PQRS. And angle P is given as 58 degrees. While angle Q is 22 degrees, angle X is 41 degrees. We are asked to find the obtuse angle R. Of course, the angle R is an obtuse angle. What is an obtuse angle? An obtuse angle is that angle which its sum is more than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. So any angle formed between 180 and 90 degrees is an obtuse angle. So how do we find angle R from the diagram? First, we draw a line. If you draw the line, then an obtuse angle is shown clearly. So we label this as angle A, angle B, respectively. So now label this as angle A and angle B. Now, how do we get our obtuse angle? Remember A, angle S, and angle PQS. Look at the both in angle PQS. Can you see our PQS? PQX. We are supposed to have 2 degrees plus a degree plus 58 degrees plus 41 plus b degrees. Everything will be equal to 180. This is angle Q plus angle P plus angle X. Remember that sum of angles in a triangle is sum to 180. So if we are taking angle PQS, all these sums supposed to give us 180. Next up, we add 41, 22, and that is we add all the constants together and the letters together. So our A plus B degrees plus 121 is that what we have. We add 22, 58, and 41, or you have 121. Everything is equals to 180 degrees. Next up, calling like saying our A plus B will be equals to 180 minus 121. That gives us 59 degrees. So if A and B is equals to 59, what is your obtuse angle? We take another angle in angle QRS, right? In angle QRS. Remember this means angle form at where? Angle form at R. The angle QRS we're actually looking for R. This is your obtuse. That will be A plus B. That's what we have in QRS. A and B and R. So our A plus B degrees plus R is equals to 180. Because in angle QRS2 is a triangle, so the angle QRS sum supposed to give us 180 degrees. Therefore, substitute the value of A plus B, where you see A plus B, and what we say is our A plus B, 59 degrees. So this is equals to 59 degrees plus half is equals to 180. Let's solve. Collect a like 10. Our arm now becomes 180 minus 59, because when plus 59 is going to the right, it changes to minus. Therefore, your obtuse R is 121 degrees, respectively. Very simple. So the angles obtuse here is equals to 121 degrees. These are question number 2. Find the value of 110,111 base 2 plus 10100 base 2. Now this is a case of binary number or binary operation. Now in binary number or numbers in base 2, the two digits in base 2 are 0 and 1. Remember, the number of digits in any given base is always 1 less than the base. That is why in base 10 number or digit we have 0 to 9. So also in base 2 we have 0 and 1 respectively. So the numbers is given in base 2. How do we find the value, the actual value? When you have 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1 and 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. We're adding them, everything in base 2. Look at the operation. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 10 in base 2. When you have 1 plus 1 is 10. Why is 1 plus 1 10? Because 1 plus 1 only is supposed to give you 2, right? But remember I said you don't have 2 in base 2. So when you reach 1, you are starting over again. Or you have to convert it back to base 2. 2 divided by 2 will give you 1. Remainder 0, nothing remain. So 2 in base 2 is equals to 10. Now this and this is 10, like 0, keep 1. Add to this is 1. 1 and 1 is 10 again. You add 0, keep 1. Add to this will give us 10. 1 plus 1 is 10. Right? Remember we say 1 plus 1 is supposed to give you 2. But 2 in this, you convert it to give you 10 in base 2. So our final answer is 1001011 in base 2. This question say a woman bought a grinder for 60,000. A woman bought a grinder for 60,000. Full stop. A woman bought a grinder for 50,000. 60,000, sorry. Full stop. She sold it at loss of 15%. Loss is 15%. Then how much did she sell it? Look at the option given to us. Option A said 53,000 naira. B said 52,000 naira. C said 51,000 naira, and D said 50,000. Now, that is a very simple question given to us. Now, assuming you bought a machine and the machine worth 60,000 naira and you lost by 15%, that means the selling price is not up to what? The cost price. Because in profit loss and profit gain, or in loss and profit arithmetics, before you add a profit, it means that the selling price is more than the cost price. For the case where the selling price is less than the cost price, you end up losing in such a business. Now, this is the money the machine was, the grinder was 60,000, but she lost 15%. How do we get the selling price? To get your selling price, you are going to first find how much she lost. How do you get the loss money? We have 15% of 100 times 60,000. That will give us 9,000 altogether, right? If you divide 15 by 100 times 60,000, it gives you 9,000. You confirm that. Now, if 9,000 is the loss, you lost 9,000 out of 60,000. Now, to get the selling price, and the selling price is now going to be cost price minus the loss price. That will give you your selling price. Selling price is going to be cost price minus the loss price. And what is our cost price? 60,000 minus 9,000. That gives you 51,000 naira. So it means that the woman lost, the selling price was 51,000 because the loss is 9,000 respectively. That is what it means from that case. All right. Express this in standard form. So if you want to express the power of this number and this in standard form, what is product? A product is multiplication. So in other words, you can explain your product as the result obtained where two or more numbers are multiplied together. Now, given 0.00043 and 2000, that is 2000, times it together. First, you need to multiply this number in ordinary form. When you get your outside ordinary form, you convert it to standard form. So when you times 0.00043 by 2000, what do you have? 0.86. If this is what you have in ordinary form, how do we convert it to standard form? 0.86 is going to be, remember, the formula for standard form or expressing the number in standard form is a times 10 raised power of n. Well, you say, well, a are bg from 0 or between 0 and 9, but your a cannot be of 10, while your n stands for the number of digits respectively. So this is the same thing as saying 8.6 times 10 raised to the power of minus 1, because we have one digit before the decimal, so the number is actually negative. That is the answer in standard form. Hope that is clear. Solve for x in the equation 8x raised to minus 2 is equals to 2 over 25. How do we find the value of x in this equation? To find the value of x, we must remember the laws of indices. because the left side of the equation is expressing, or is actually expressed in the negative floor of index. Remember, if I have 1/10, right? It is setting as, say, 10 raised to the power of minus 1. Or you can have it as 1/10 raised to the power of 1. Now, when it's going up, it becomes 10 raised to the power of minus 1. Now, 8x raised to the power of minus 2 is the same thing as 8 all over x raised to the power of 2, right? 8x raised to the power minus 2 is the same thing as 8 all over x raised to the power of 2, which is equals to 2 all over 25. Let's solve. If you have this expression, you simply cross multiply. And when you cross multiply, you're going to have 2x times 2. That gives us, x times x squared times 2, we have 2x squared, right? X squared times 2 gives us 2x squared, equals to 8 times 25, we have 200. You compare it as to figure out 200. Let's subtract by 2 here. 2 take care of 2. Our x squared is equals to 100. But remember, we have to solve for x. So to get x, you take root of x and the root of both sides, such that this and this will go. Therefore, our x become root of 100 is 10. So from the option D is actually the value of x in the equation. Now look at this case. In this logarithm, you have log of 8 in base 2 plus log of 16 in base 2 minus log 4 in base 2. All the logarithms are given in the same base, and you must remember that from the theory of logarithm, whenever I give two logarithms to add together, which appear in the same base, then their log are what? Are multiplied together. If I give it two logarithms which have the same base to add, we multiply their logs together. Why? If I give a logarithm with the same base to subtract, then their log are what? Are divided together. It divides the log together. Now let's look at this case together. Give it log 8 in base 2 plus log 16 in base 2 minus log 4 in base 2. Now this and this are together, and we're adding it together. Since this log and this log have the same base 2, what are we supposed to do? The log are supposed to multiply together because their base are what? Are the same. So multiply log 8 and 16 together. So this is the same thing as saying log 8 times 16 divide by, because this is minus, so going to be divided by 4, because the other logarithm is also given in base 2. So log 8 times 16 divided by 4, everything in base 2. You are going to have, if you turn this, will give you 128 over 4 equals to 32. So right now you're having log of 32 now in base 2, right? And like 32 in base 2 is the same thing as what number when 2 raised to will give us 32. The number is the same thing as 5. Meaning 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. The 5 places will give us 32. 2 times 2 equals to 2, only 4. 4 times 2, 8. 8 times 2, 16. 16 times 2, 32. So log 32 in base 2 is equals to 5. Meaning option C is the correct answer for question number 6. Now let's look at question 7. If set P is given as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and P union Q is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then what are the elements that set Q is likely to contain? If you look at this question, it's a very simple question, but if you not comprehend what a set is, you look at it as it's a very difficult question, while the question is very simple. Now look at the element is set P. 1, 2, 3, and 4 to 5. We're not giving element in set Q, but we're giving what? P union Q. And what does that mean? The element of P and Q are joined together. That is the meaning of union. Union means what? Combined. So if elements of P and Q are combined, the answer gives 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Babe, what is the list of element in what? Q. Very simple. Remember that P contains what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you take away the remaining elements, that will not give the elements that Q contains. So you can see it is very obvious that the elements that we don't have from P is 6 and 7. Therefore, P Q elements contain 6 and 7 respectively. That is very simple. So we can say option C is a correct answer. Very simple. That is said for you. That is said for us. So to list the element in Q, we identify it as 6 and 7. Because we say a linear set is a set that are combined, right? It's just like the opposite of complement of a set. Like when we are doing a set, you are asked to find its complement. Its complement simply means non-member. Assuming the student and the teacher in a class, a teacher is not a membership of a class because you only come to teach in that class. But the student who belong to that class are the membership of that class. Therefore, a teacher is just like the complement of the class. But what we say the union of the class then is a combination of the student and the teacher that gives the union of the class. So that is the answer to the question. The elements found in Q are 6 and 7. This is another case, and this is another problem. When I given the level of student that offer physics, mathematics in that class, but we're only giving the angle of students that offer mathematics to be 12 degrees. And the total number of the students in that class is given as 150. So how do you find the number of students that offer physics, mathematics in the class? How many students offer mathematics in that class? If the class contains 150 students and the angle of student offering mathematics is 12 degrees. To find the number of students that offer maths is very simple. That unless you get the method and the methodology You must remember that that question is actually talking about a pie chart. And a pie chart is divided into sector, right? Proportional to the frequency or the data given. Now, remember that a total pie chart is sum to 360 degrees. So what is the angle of student offering mathematics? 12 degrees all over 360 degrees. That's the total uh, of a bar chart. And this is equals to number of student offering mass. Let's take it as X because we don't know the number of students that offer mass. But we're only about to have 150 students. So the angle of student offering mass is proportional to the total angle of the pie chart, which is equals to the number of students offering mathematics all over the total number of students in the class. This is how we have the relationship. Now we are taking X as number of students offering mathematics, which is unknown to us. And now linear angles is for mathematics student 12 degrees. Okay, when you cross multiply, I'm going to have 360x because 360 degrees times by x, that is you cross multiply. Next up, 12 times 150 will now give us, yes, when you times 12 by 150, we have 1,800 divided by 360. 360 cancel 360. Your S is equals to, right? It's 5. And we said X stands for number of students that offer mathematics. So how many students offer mathematics in that class? 5 students offer mathematics. Okay, that is that for question number 8. So I would love us to take 2 more questions. Let's solve like 10 question minimum and then we call it today for today class. We're actually giving the log. And of course, if you use your calculator, you confirm it that log 3 in base 10. Just use your calc and touch log 3 in base 10. It gives you what you see on the board as 3 and it's 0.477. While log 2 give us log 2 0.3010. Now we are given log 2 and log 3 as this and this respectively. Then what will now be log 4.5 in base 10 because all the log are given in base 10. That is a question. Look at the board. Now give it log 4.5 in base 10. Have it convert 4.5 to a fraction. To convert 4.5 to a fraction, it is the same thing as saying 9 over 2. Because 9 divided by 2 will give you 4 remainder 1. So 4 number 1 over 2 is the same thing as 4.5. So when you are given this log reason, you can simply express log 4.5 as log of 9 in base 10 minus, or let's first arrange it in this way. Remember we say log 4.5 is the same thing as log 9 over 2 in base what? In base 10. Now this is a division law of logarithm. Now, if you are given logarithm to divide, it's still the same thing as saying log of 9 in base 10 minus log 2 in base 10. Because given two logarithm to divide, then we subtract the log because the bases are same, log 9 and log 2, all in base 10. Right. So log 9 over 2 in base 10 is still the same thing as saying log 9 in base 10 minus log 2 in base 10. So also, if you are given log 9 in base 10 minus log 2 in base 10, you can equally write it as log 9 divided by 2 in base 10. Now, if two logarithms are given to subtract together, what do we do? We divide them because they are having the same base. So this is the same thing as this. So if we add 9 over 2, it is the same thing as log of 9 in base 10 minus log of 2 in base 10. So that is what we have. Next up, when I have log of 9 in base 10, remember it's still the same thing as saying log of 3 raised to power 2 in base 10. What do I mean? 3 raised to power 2 is the same thing as saying 3 times 3. And 3 times 3 is the same thing as 9. So I not change anything from there. Now, if you have a power law of logarithm, you are timesing the base and then the power by the log itself. And this is the same thing as saying 2 times log of 3 in base 10. Remember, we have log 2 here, right? Minus log of 2 in base 10. Let me explain that point again. When you have log 9 in base 10, we said, it's the same thing as saying log of 3 raised to power of 2. Because 3 raised to power 2 will still give us 9. So this and this will not change anything. Now this now gives us the power law of logarithm, which states that if you are given a number with a parallelism with a given power, we times the power by the log itself. And the power is 2. So 2 times log of 3 in base 10. That is all we have. Minus log of 2 in base 10. Look at what we're going to have now. Remember the question said log 3 in base 10 is equals to what? Look at it from the question. 0.4771. So what we have here as log of 3 in base 10 is the same thing as 0.4771. You now times it by these 2, right? Minus what we say is log 2 in base 10. You say it's equals to 0.3010. So times this by 2, that gives us 2 times 0.4771. We're going to have 0.9542 minus 0.3010. We have 0.6 and 532. Beautiful. Therefore, log of 4.5 in base 10 is equals to 0.6532. That is our final answer. Look at the case we have before us. You are given 2, 1, 2 in base 3 minus 1, 2, 1 in base 3 plus 2, 2, 2 in base 3. This is still our base 3 base operation. Base 3 operation. Now, like I'll show you in the previous question, whenever you are given a number in base to operate, either base 2 or base 3 or whatsoever base. If you are not familiar with the base, this best way to solve such problem is to convert that problem back to base 10. I want to repeat that point again. You are given any question to solve in base other than base 10, and you are not familiar with the operation of that given base. The best thing to do is to convert that problem back to base 10. And all the cases here in this question are given in base 3. Now, if you are not familiar with this, I love to advise that we convert the problem back to base 10. I will now subtract this result from this. You now add this result. How do we do the conversion? Follow me. 2, 1, 2 in base 3. If I want to change it to base 10, I will have 2 times 3 plus 1 times 3 plus 2 times 3. That is the given base. Starting with power of 0, 1, and 2. I'm using power expansion method to convert to base 10. So I will have 2 times 3 raised to the power 2 is 9, plus 1 times 3 raised to the power 1 is 3, plus 2 times any number raised to the power 0 is 1. Next up, I want to have 2 times 9 give me 18, plus 1 times 3 give me 3, plus 2 times 1 give me 2. Right? Now 2 plus 18 will give you 20, plus here you have 23, and there's what? In base 10. So 2, 1, 2 in base 3 is equal to 23 in base 10. Keep your value. Now convert 1 to 1 also to base 10. So your 1 to 1 in base 3 will be equals to 1 times 3 plus 2 times 3 plus 1 times 3. Starting with power 0, 1, and 2. 2 raised to power 3 raised to power 2 will give you 9, plus 2 times 3 plus 1 times 1. Because I've said any number raised to power 0, the answer is 1. So 1 times 9 will give us 9, plus 6 here, plus 1. 2 times 3 give us 6. 1 times 1 give us 1. 1 plus 9 will give you 10, plus 6 you have 16 in base 10. After converting 2, 1, 2 to base 3, you obtain 23 as your answer. You convert 1 to 1 in base 3 to base 10, you obtain 16 as your answer. So what you simply need is now subtract this 23 from 16. That will give you that is to say 23 minus 16, you have 7 in base 10. Right? 23 minus 16, you have 7 in base 10. So the difference of this and this in base 3 is equals to 7. Else 1 is to base 10. Now the next thing you need is convert these two to base 10, and then we now add the value of this to the difference you obtain from here. How we do our last conversion? 2 in base 3. This equals to 2 times 3 plus 2 times 3 plus 2 times 3. 0, 1, 2. This equals to 2 times 3 raised to the power 2 give us 9, plus 2 times 3 here, plus 2 times 1, because any number raised to the power 0 give us 1. This is equals to 18 plus 6 plus 2. Altogether we have 26 in base 10. Now remember that you have the difference of this as 7. Add it to this, plus 7 in base 10, we have 33 in base 10. Remember, don't use 33 as your answer because the question is given in base 3, so you need to convert it back to base 3 to get your final answer. So do not do mistake by choosing 33 as your answer. It may not be correct. So you're going to have 3 here and 33 and your R. So you can change it back to base 3. The R stands for the remainder when you divide. So 33 into 3 into 33 give us 11, nothing remain. 3 into 11 give you 3 and 2 will remain. 3 into 3 give you 1, nothing will remain. 3 cannot go to 1, 0, 1 remain. To get your answer, you start adding from the last remainder up 1. That will give you 1, 0, 2, 0 in base what? In base 3. So to subtract this from this and add this, all you are going to get at the end is 1020 in base 3 as your final answer. Thank you. See you in our next video.